Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's a live studio. And of course, like what I said earlier on, two topics that will impact your life positively in terms of information, in terms of education, because things are like, happening for you to get a clearer picture of what is transpiring in some of this quarter. Of course, sector, definitely you need to hear from an analyst, their own point of view, their own perspective. All right, we want to take a look at the feud between Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and his deputy Lucky Ayetada. Yeah, what is really going on, because as we speak, impeachment process is ongoing. And of course, the Speaker of the House says, look, we just can't do this. We have to be fair. We have to hear from both parties. We have to give Lucky, the Deputy Governor, an opportunity to defend himself of the allegations levied against him. Some are saying that Deputy Governors are like spare tires, that all power belongs to the governor, which is the principal or the boss, and he or she determines who, how, when he wants to share or delegate responsibility. How did all this started 3 months ago when Rotimi Akeredolu went to Germany for medical vacation. With me here in the studio to talk about this, I have a legal practitioner, political affairs commentator, and of course, he is a chairman and Justice of International Law, Edo State, chartered arbitrator and mediator, Notary Public of Nigeria, political analyst and human rights activist. All the citation. Barrister Patrick Akeredolu, welcome to TMI Sunday's edition. I appreciate your coming.
We're going to waste it.
All right. You get to hear put food on the table. You will not see or hear all these things happening. So people call him the voice of the masses. Despite political affiliation, he always speaks truth to power. Join me to welcome Okoro Osahon Obaraye. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you so much, Wilson. Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers at home.
All right. And of course, Barrister Robinson Imade. Yes, he'll be joining us shortly in the studio. He had to go do one or two things, but still promised to be back within 5 or 10 minutes. Definitely, he will come and join in this discussion. He is a legal practitioner, and of course, one-time a Labour devotee, always a Labour devotee. Barrister Robinson Imade, when it comes to the studio, you get his own point of view and his own opinions about this topical issue. Gentlemen, some call it Bass Boss. The governor wasn't around. He went on medical vacation. And thank God he has recovered. But so many news got to him. So they said. And wasn't so pleased with what he heard with the evidence brought before him the deputy did while he was away. Rumor has it that there was a plot or a move to say, look, since Rotimi Akeredolu is not, in quote right now, fit to govern, let Lucky take over the deputy, so to speak, become the governor. But somewhere along the line, it was thwarted. It was, for and of course against deepening political divide and all that. The man right now is back. The boss right now is back, and there is a plot, a proof on the ground to say, deputy governor, you have to step down. You have to step aside. I want to start off with Okoro Osahon Obaraye, because he's an astute politician. He should know what is really going on in the heart and of course in the mind of so many of these politicians. Obaraye, because of your antecedent, I want to start with you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It's you should not expect something very positive from Nigeria bulk of politicians. What is happening now presently in Ondo is politics of disloyalty, politics of lack of trust. But I think what has also happened is that the governor would have also, first of all, give thanks to God for him, for a very successful recovery from life 0 to life 60 or 70% as we speak for the very just now. But maybe he has also felt that the person he gave the mantle of leadership has also failed in one way or the other. And since he has failed, it's time for him to pay back. And paying back for the deputy governor to skate through is like the camel passing through the eye of a needle. What I expected from the governor is to do his best, the luck he had from where he's coming from. Are you getting it now?
Yeah.
To have concluded his tenureship very well, because the deputy governor also had what it takes to have as an attorney any issue, because he was not acting. He was a governor when the governor was sick. So I'm sure what the governor is trying to do now is that I gave you the preference of acting on my behalf before I came. You did their word negative issues. So we cannot also buy that away from the Nigeria type of politics syndrome, where your governor or your president looks for 100% loyalty from you. Just some people are also saying the deputy governor is vis-a-vis a spare tire, constitutionally and physically and truly, in the Nigerian political space. That is true. You can't even say something without your head or your boss not saying it. I'm not sure. We are yet to see a governor in Nigeria who has given his deputy governor a very, very free hand to work because they are all scared. But taking Ondo as a case study, I'm sure what the governor would have done now is to make sure his health system get complete, he finish his tenure in good health and leave. Because all this one still boils down to whoever is alive is the one dictating about impeachment or who to continue any issue. If the trip to Germany was not fruitful, I'm not sure he would be here to discuss about impeachment notice. So he would have also looking onto the face of God who saw him through thick and thin, because if it was not him, I'm not sure, it's hard to survive what he has survived. So he would have also seek the face of God to say, okay, let's finish well together. But you can't use your heart as Wilson or Marshall to judge that of Barrister Ezekweme. Neither judge mine or neither judge the heart of my father. Are you getting it? So heart differs. So maybe the governor that I've heard from the wife associate to say, no, he must go. But whatever they have told you, it's also good to use your initiative to say, okay, even if he must go, let us finish well together. Because it also boils down to the people. This is not the people, this is not the people's issue. We are supposed to be talking of how to put food on the table of our people. This impeachment process that is going to cost the state hundreds of millions. It's going to cost the state big money, which should have also the governor, I'm not sure, taking things to what would have discussed on with just a bottle or a glass of beer to say, okay, next time don't do this. If you do it next time, it won't happen this way. Don't do this next time, do it. I think, softening it better would have been better than going to say you pulling down syndrome.
All right. Barrister Patrick, you heard his introduction. He said, look, as a politician, it's better for you to just sit down. And of course, you have this tete-a-tete. What you did was wrong. Over a bottle of beverage, don't do it again. If not, there'll be a hammer waiting for you rather than going all out, vengeful and saying, this man must leave. We can't stand traitors in our camp. Over to you.
Yeah, politics, politicians, and most of them, they live on lies. I believe that the governor, why on medical treatments in Germany, a lot of filled with a lot of lies. What never happened. So based on that, they had a feeling about the conduct of his deputy, why he was away. Because the lie was so powerful. Because those incumbents, they live on lies. It's just scripts. Because they know what the government can tell me that he's not in touch with his deputy. Why there? On daily basis, on one way that I call it. Yes. The governor not too well. But he just third party behind, some people behind the scene. It's political. These are people pressurizing the governor. A deputy must go based on those lies. You know, that lies is so powerful. The extent the governor can go is start believing them. Despite his talking, chatting with, why is there? Because it's shown that the fact that the deputy governor is giving the acting power, but still, is this subject to scrutiny of the principal? Why there? Have to put call across, something to do, should I go ahead with it? So the forces here are the third party who are behind the scene. But that's by the wayside. Then again, the autonomy that played a role. I think I blame the constitution for that. Yes, because I think that's where they're likely to have the problem from. You know that when a governor is here, issue of governorship to continue in office, the ESCO can remove the governor.
The ESCO?
Yes, of course. But on that head ground, the law permits that. Even the ESCO, because who is going to change the ESCO? Is the deputy. Why the governor is not there? Is the next, the acting. Over the head situation. Just so he's giving that power into the money on that head ground. All he needs is to come to us for assembly. Remember this man, one of the governors from Northern Nigeria that went for horse riding. I fell down from horse. You still remember?
Yeah,
You still remember what happened to him? That's what happened. So I think this, which constitutionally gives the power to the ESCO to do that. But you know, as a typical Nigerians, they will be scared. He made me a commissioner. He made me this. I cannot go against my principal, which will not permit you. I believe this also have a role. Probably he also heard that he's trying to lobby the commissioners. So that ones, but on head ground, man cannot longer lead. That can also be connected. We don't know. There are so many factors. I know instead, politicians they lie a lot. Those yours for their selfish reasons. So based on that, the government want to act. And let me tell you, once issue of impeachment comes out for assembly, out of 10 impeachment they go out, 9 or 10, it must succeed. Because it's simple, just a script.
It's a script?
Yes, because the government is in charge of the, they have his people there. All they need to do is that when issue arises of misconduct, they just list them. Then set a committee will look into it. At the end of the day, they will indict the governor. Only indicted, based on that, he just to stand on something, authority to remove him. He pronounced me impeach.
All right.
Yes, that's just about. You remember the removal, even in the judicial palace. You remember the removal of the CJN? It was a small court, in chambers, not court was in chambers, expertise motion expertise, not even heard. The general gave the court your granted. Immediately they granted it, they sent it to Buhari. We go on the basis to remove, suspend the CJN. So these are scripts. It's not new to us.
All right, these are scripts. It's not new
to us. Yes.
Okay. Well, I've already introduced Barrister Robinson Ima, the political analyst, legal practitioner, or once a labor devotee, always a labor devotee, but he has a lot to say about this particular issue. Barrister, I have introduced you already, but welcome on board. Welcome on board. Well, I hear that you are right now is in the hot plate because Akeredolu is not pleased with his antecedent while he was away. From all indication and observation, the House is going to give him a fair hearing. What do you think of all this process? Like what Obara said, is like maybe Akeredolu is vindictive. And from what Barrister Patrick said, he said, look, these are just lies leveled against the deputy governor might not be true. So what can you make out of this?
Perhaps we are all lying here in the studio just now. I'm not aware that Akeredolu has said that he's not pleased with his deputy. I can't also lay hands on any lie that has come to the fore that anybody has told in Ondo State. What I know is that the deputy governor who acted as governor when His Excellency Akeredolu was sick and absent, is being tried. There's an impeachment process that is on, and the much I am able to gather is the fact that he has misappropriated funds. I think I saw somewhere that he approved for himself a whooping sum of 300 million, or was it 30 million, to buy a bulletproof car for the office of the acting governor. That's the much I have heard, but I know that there can hardly be any smoke without fire. Madam Akeredolu has been on air a number of times, complaining about different people. And I know that the fact that he approved a sum of money for vehicle for his office ordinarily should not have been enough to be thinking about impeachment process. He approved that vehicle as acting governor, and I think the best the governor would have done is, okay, I'm back, leave the vehicle there, go to your office. But it's not there. I will also be pretending not to know, if I say I don't know, that there is crisis emanating from the heat of succession. And it's even involving the area from where the deputy governor came. Don't forget that Ajayi, whom Akeredolu removed in his first coming, was also from the same senatorial district. And they are the people who, if you like, are the engine room of Ondo State being the only oil-producing area in the state. The people are already singing that, look, you use our people and dump them. But what I don't understand is why these governors across the country are always interested in who succeeds them. Why they will fight dirty to install a successor. Why they will not serve their tenure and leave the people to decide. I agree that the position of deputy governor is not an enviable one. It's not at all. Because at best, you are just there to act when the governor is not around, or to carry out, to assist the governor in his day-to-day running of the state. No specific function. And that is why a governor that had a joint ticket with his deputy can treat a deputy governor less than he could even treat a commissioner that he appointed, who was not elected. What's happening in Ondo State is a pity. But again, if you decide to be deputy under our present constitution, you also know that loyalty cannot be mortgaged. You must remain loyal, otherwise you will be nipped by your governor. We are seeing that in Edo State, where the deputy governor will come again and again to pledge his loyalty. Another thing we should also look at is why deputy governors always think that having served for 8 years as deputy, they must become the governor. I've talked about the governors not wanting anybody, just anybody to succeed them, especially their deputies. I don't know why. And again, I don't know why deputy governors will want to continue in office after serving a joint ticket with their principals. I don't see, what's his name? The deputy governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu Lucky, surviving this. But again, I cannot hold on to any crime he has committed. If he has the power as acting governor to make approvals, and he made wrong approval, they called it misappropriation. I've not seen the details. Okay. Misappropriation ordinarily will mean that a vote for a particular thing was expended for another. Is it that there was not in the budget provision for vehicle for his office? And even at that, why are our people possessed with riding big cars where the people they are superintending over can hardly eat? In the face of the economic crisis in the country, a deputy governor acting as governor would be more interested in a bulletproof car, 300 million bulletproof car for himself, when people are thinking of palliatives or those they have impoverished by their bad governance. If you ask me, if it is true, if it is proven that he was going to buy at this time a 300 million car for himself, I think he deserves to go.
All right. I will come back to you. He raised so many points. He said this might not be unconnected to the succession drive of the governor. And of course, talked about, somewhere along the line, it's all about loyalty. Well, Brother, you are a politician. Take it up from these two angles he just raised.
Yeah, thank you so much. What you have said is not different from what we are also trying to see. Just that as an elder, he's saying dozen. As kids, we are saying 12. So the truth is that inner him, when he's exclusive, he wants to succeed. Maybe he's also looking at why can't I also be governor? Inner him, but the governor too will look at it to say.
But is it a crime to aspire?
No. The governor will also think to say, okay, inner the governor, I've been here with this guy, giving another latitude to extend my tenure after him might be risky. I get it, then it will be so no need. We are here together, let's go together. Are you getting it now? So that's for that one. Then let's also talk about loyalty. Loyalty is to so many people in different angle. If the deputy governor wasn't loyal, I'm not sure the governor would have come back to become a governor. If he was somebody that was ready to take the bull by the horn, 48 hours was done. For him to have approved 300 million naira, for him to increase it to 3 billion, give it to this House of Assembly people. And that is the end. Nobody that does not have a prize. I get it. Nobody that does not have a prize. For him to have approved 300 million, he can also use that same power to say 3 billion. The speaker, this is 2.5 billion. Take it. The governor on health grant, let him go. It's for the speaker to say, okay, no, why not make it 5 billion? Because it's a risky venture. Okay, you have it after it's done, and you can come in to become my deputy. And it's a deal, tit for tat. Are you getting it now? So he also took a risk by cracking the gun and not shooting. In politics, when you want to strike, don't take your hands back. The attempt to stand up to strike in politics is an attempt to kill. So when you do it and the person is not gone, just take back and don't come. So he was supposed to even resign on its own. If there's anything done to say maybe he wanted, the governor can say misappropriation. You must look for an English to
garnish everything, to strike him out.
Yeah. I'm sure what have happened was that maybe he had feelers to say the governor must go, inner him. I get it now. Then let me also guide you. There are people in politics, they don't look for positions, but they eat with lies. I have privileged to have met with one of that. Issue be a little senior to my father. I'm talking to somebody for 80-something years now, who told me about 20-something years ago to say, my son, you want to venture into politics? I said, yes. And he said, you know, some of us, we don't go anywhere. What we do is to put lies on you. When we give you lie, immediately before you start jogging that, we look for some. So that is their business. They eat fat on it. So whatever has also happened now are people who came to welcome the governor. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. You are leaving. You get luck, your deputy. Oh, man. You don't go. And that person might not have been with the deputy one-on-one. You get luck, when the deputy, wait till it be the plan. Now God won't save you for sickness, now I save you here. And the governor will say, what was he planning? No, baby, they tell you, and he leaves. He has sowed the seed of discourse on the governor. And when the deputy governor comes to maybe welcome him and he's smiling, the governor will not say, don't you see he's smiling? He's smiling because he wanted to take me out and I didn't go. He might also come not to smile, to be remorseful, to say, okay, it's not good to smile. The governor will say, you can see, I'm here, I'm back, hale and hearty. He's not smiling. Because somebody has sowed the seed of discord to the governor to say, this guy wanted to do this, even when he didn't want to do it. So, and the governor also, we should not shy away from when God gives you opportunity to live again. If God gives you opportunity to live again, it's not what you toil with. The governor was also saying, to say, okay, where I went to, 80% will go and don't come back.
Yes.
Whatever has happened, let me just make the office of the deputy governor irrelevant. We have a governor in Nigeria now whose office is even better than an impeached governor. Because the environment of his office, I can't stay there. The environment of his office. And the present nomenclature of his is zero. We have commissioners and other government appointees who are far better at doing things in the government than the deputy governor. So it also boils down to thing of pride. If for the deputy governor of Ondo to be indicted and people are saying this or that, to me you step aside quickly before somebody will use you to count political scores to say we did this one to him, because there is no way the Nigeria constitution that the deputy governor will survive it. No way. So this is what he was supposed to do. There would have been no way the governor would have also survived it. Forget about commissioners or all those. Because they are hungry. The greed in them would not have made them to survive the handiwork of a green biro from that acting deputy governor. To say, what do you want? It's a simple thing. And he'll tell you, I would have wanted to run for governor again. Okay, I will call it for you. Sign this one for me. And he gets it on his sick bed there, on his sick bed, and that is the end. He comes back and he wants to shout, they dump him somewhere. It becomes irrelevant. So the deputy governor also had all what it takes to do it. That's loyalty, and you are telling him about misappropriation. If there was a car too, and the deputy governor decided to also buy, it's not his personal or private vehicle. Just the way Baba said it just now. That vehicle will still come. It's not the office of the deputy governor. That even if he is, the governor can have the right to say, no, this is not your car. Take this one there, take this one here. So you have your decisions when you come back. Or what you are doing again now, the doctors have told you to go and rest.
Go and rest.
Yes, that must.
Okay, go and rest.
You can see the man that left and the man that
came back. Yes.
Two different people.
Okay.
So you are supposed to be resting, and you are here again trying to, whatever you want to do, you are playing God and you are playing your head. Okay. So to me, what has happened has happened. If we don't learn to forgive, I don't know when and how you start thinking about forgiveness. So
all right.
the Ondo State political debacle, the governor should sit down and don't play God role.
All right, because Aloke Akeredolu, the deputy governor right now, is in the eyes of the storm because the impeachment process has started. But he talked about loyalty. The deputy governor really had the opportunity to strike. He didn't strike. Don't forget the opposition in the state talking about this man is not fit to be the governor on held grounds. They started even harassing the ruling party that what are you guys doing? First month, second month, third month, no show from the governor. It was even rumored that the guy kicked the bucket. Only for him to come back and say, look, I'm okay. Don't you think that that is truly a measure of loyalty from the side of Aloke Akeredolu, the deputy governor of Ondo State, barrister?
Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. But I said earlier on that most of the time they feed on lies. You know, there's not a lie they will bring before you. But actually, there's no way the deputy governor could approve such a car without calling, allowing people to know. But he must be aware. He must be aware. That's not the issue.
But in that state of health, do you think he'll be strong enough to say yes or no or process everything?
No. It's just I want to buy. I say no, don't buy. It's not phone. That's not an issue. It's not an issue at all. See, the main issue also just the bachelorary. You see, the Buhari and Ola Balloon here is the handwork of political gladiators. That's what these are people that what they are known for. And the man can be confused. What are these a man that have good intention? Well, he did well. You understand me? So for the man to have made up mind, lobby the House of Assembly for a impeachment notice. Like I told you, no deputy governor can survive a impeachment notice because just in their scripts. But at the end of the day, they call it any name, misappropriation. So the committee will look into it. The committee, 100% I assure you, they will indict him. And that is the end. That is a script. That's how it operates. That's the truth of the matter. So, no matter so, I think which I'm just guessing that the major issue, which we might not know, Like I said, there's some other factors. The principal one might be succession issue. Yes, issue of succession, because there's nothing bad for the deputy governor to aspire to be a governor. He has been deputy, so I want to aspire, I want to go forward. I believe I'm well equipped now to handle that office. Nothing bad. So, but the governor too might not want his person. Because with the time he worked with him, you have seen it our person. He might have a favorite, which you don't know. You say, no, I'm not allowed to be. No, I'm not allowed to succeed me. But ordinarily speaking, but let's go, issue of justice, issue of fairness, on humanitarian ground, morality. The best person to succeed the governor ought to be the deputy. He had been with me, he supported me, like you know too well. The people have no constitutional role. He just he's at the back and corner of the governor. More or less delegated duties. Go this, do this, do this. He can do not do. So somebody who has supported you to this extent, ordinarily you have to support him. But greediness, most governors don't want it. Oh, if now succeed me, he's going to stay 8 years or 4 years. Added to what you have said. No. There's one that happened. I don't want to mention name. He now said, no, we came together, we must go together. We can't have extra.
So we came together, we live together.
So that's why I think even the Buhari now, the problem with laws he passed now before he signed. Yeah. Into a law now is for pass. We have been a deputy governor can only stay 1 term if you're elected governor, none of that 2 term. Yes, for a vice president, you have spent 8 years, you can only stay single term. That's a new law now. That's a new law, yeah. That been passed. Not even a deputy governor, if you go to say only 1 term. Yes, I mean. So it's just the greediness within them. It plays everywhere. And most governors, they don't like to go. They want to put in favor right there. But I think we have gotten a politician that are Democrats. Most of them are these politicians are business people. These are not Democrats. Even check out a country like Nelson Mandela. A man that's supposed to be 7 years in prison, that he has paid his due, sacrificed his life, major life in the prison. It's always single tell I'm okay. Yes, I mean, they're not Democrats. They're not Democrats. That's why if you even for example, when this man left, when he was there, Shomale was fighting Godfatherism. That was what he made him Godfatherism. We applauded him. Both supported Godfatherism. At the end of the day, at the time of secession to leave, he became Godfather. It's a problem. That's what I mean. Even this one now, I said, let us see how this one will run. That the quarrel between the deputy now and even the governor, His Excellency Obaseki. But I said 2 years ago that the loyalty will be decided during the secession period. That you know whether it's player or not. And not what has played now. It has come to secession. He said, do or die. You want to aspire, and one will say, no, I not want him, I want somebody else. He will not say, I can't be supporting somebody. Me that have served him for 8 years. The battle line is drawn. And that one says, okay, no, I will not let this man succeed me. Can you succeed me? So most of them, you remember Tinubu time, our former president, when he was the governor of Lagos State, are you aware? There was the first relationship between and the deputy, the lady, she was relocated. So it's always like that, you know. I think it's just the governor's cough interest. Much more than that. It's a succession. Much more than that. Can't just say call issue of a vehicle. Because I told you, they must be interacting. There's no way that the government approves so without letting people know. It's a way. So it just is the handwork of political buccaneers and just gladiators.
All right.
In the states.
All right. Barrister, for what Obara said, he said in the heart of although we're not in his heart, Loki Ayedetiwa really wanted to be the governor, like what he painted. He said, you cock the gun but refuse to fire. In politics, once you cock the gun, you must take the shot or else you are out of the picture. Was that a mistake of deputy governor for being loyal to a fort? Because really, he had it on a platter, on health ground. After all, it's in the constitution, if you can't perform your duty, definitely one or two things can happen to see you out of the system for you to take care of yourself. Take it up from there.
Well, I think the deputy governor, acting governor there was just being careful. Because there are times you cock the gun, you fire, and it comes back to you.
Boomerang. Yes.
The power of boomerang.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as we saying it here. Removing the governor because of head ground. We know what happened when the late President Yaradua was in power.
Yes.
We know how many years of fall that Buhari stayed outside the country. you know, before Akeredolu left, he informed the House of Assembly. And they approved his, if you like, sick leave. And when he saw he was not coming back early enough, that was when he transmitted power to the deputy. At the beginning, he didn't, like most governors wouldn't. And he also wrote to the House of Assembly to extend his tenure. It was extended. He couldn't have, I'm not sure he would have told the deputy, I want to write to the House to extend my period of stay. So having extended, it would have been difficult for the same House on the perquisites of office, or if you like, the tempting of the tempting and prompting of the deputy governor to have instituted an impeachment program for the period of time. In all, Akeredolu was out of the country for 3 years.
3 months.
3 months, sorry.
Yes.
And the 3 months were officially covered. I don't know the kind of ailment that he had. I don't think it was mental illness. Otherwise, the Akeredolu I know is a senior advocate of Nigeria, a very sound lawyer. He led the NBA in the past, and one who is a grounded politician. I'm not sure he would have left such loopholes for the deputy governor to... I think that if the man actually wanted to succeed his governor and went all out, as we think the people would have told the governor now, to entrench himself, he would have looked at the options and weighed them. But suppose it backfired. Everybody, like my brother said, has a price. It's not every prize you flout because of the power of boomerang. I think that what is happening just now, as my colleague here said, is the greed of our people. On both sides.
On both sides?
On both sides, yes. Why would a governor be interested in who succeeds him if he has nothing to hide? And if he has everything to hide, should he not confide more than any other person in his deputy? Or is it the fear of, oh, I'm serving only for 8 years as governor, he will serve 4 years in the case of Ondo, 4 years as deputy, and maybe get 8 years or 4 years as governor. He will be rated as somebody who has served more than me. Such pettiness on the part of our governors all over. I can't remember, I don't know of any governor whose deputy has succeeded since 1999. The closest to it, if I remember, was our dear comrade governor and Udubu. We saw them eating corn and licking ice cream together on the streets. But he recently said that he didn't see why, he didn't want the deputy to succeed him, but he didn't take him to court, trying to make rubbish in quote of Shoaibu. Why do they bother about the deputy governor succeeding them? Then for the deputy governors, having come on a joint ticket, why would you not go with your principal? So those are things, because we are not, apart from my brother Obaye here, the other
legal practitioners,
politicians,
yes.
Is there anything there that these people cannot leave?
Is it that sweet or so powerful that they don't want to leave?
Is it so much? What kind of money are they looking for? What fame, what power are they looking for? Now he's going to mess up himself if all we are thinking is true. And I'll say this. I have said that I didn't think, and I still don't think the deputy governor will survive it. Not because the governor has a magic wand, but because...
But the speaker said they'll give him a fair hearing.
Exactly. Even with the
fair hearing, defend yourself.
Sorry, sir. I even think they will give him a fair hearing. If he was accused of embezzlement,
yes,
that would be difficult to prove. And it may have been wrong. But when you talk about misappropriation, many people, many administrators don't even know that it's a crime. Misappropriation does not mean that you have stolen money or you have put money in your pocket. It means that money that was earmarked for air conditioner
project, yes.
has been used for television.
And that is
For
a
the same
huge crime.
government.
Is that a crime that can lead to impeachment?
That is misappropriation. And misappropriation can lead to impeachment. You think you are... Okay, assuming the deputy governor, in the bid to showing the governor that he was loyal, when you come back, you should enjoy certain perquisites. I want to do something for you, because we both agreed, Obayi and I, that the vehicle would not have gone to the office of the deputy governor. Assuming he was going to buy it, when my principal comes, I'll let him know I bought this car, sir. So that when you come, you will enjoy it. It's possible. Otherwise, was he thinking that the man would be sick for 100 years? No. He knew he would come sooner than later if God permitted. And of course, God has permitted that. So, and the car, there is no way he would have said, it was when you were away that I bought it, so it's mine. No deputy governor would be that crazy. He may have even done this in good faith. But because of the latent reasons and activities that we are not privy to, the governor or the House of Assembly, because the governor has not come out to say anything against his deputy, has now decided...
But not the right thing on the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To say, this vehicle you bought for 300 million, was in the budget? He didn't buy it in his name, and I can be very sure of that. He couldn't have bought it in his name. He couldn't have also bought it for the office of the deputy governor. He may have acted in good faith. Like I said, not many, even administrators, know that misappropriation is a serious matter. And when you are charged with misappropriation, you hardly have defense.
Wow.
I can say
So
this
no survivor in this impeachment
for
plot.
free. In our citadel of learning here, whether UBTH or University of Benin, I'm aware, and I saw it in court, that a chief executive will tell the accountant, hey, these workers want to go on strike. Okay, is there money anywhere? Let's pay their salary first. I said, the only money you have is for this construction. Let's pay salaries first. Without the chief executive taking 1 naira and the accountant taking 1 naira, they were accused. I'm saying they were because I know of misappropriation. And somebody lost his job.
Wow.
It's not a thing that you survive. Because most times you act in good faith. It is easier to survive embezzlement because you now need proof. They will go to your account. Did you take the money? Did not. This one, you didn't take 1 kobo. You couldn't even take any percentage from the vehicle you bought, but you bought it. Was the money made for that thing?
Wow.
That's why I said I didn't think he will survive it. But it's difficult to survive misappropriation.
So can one do that? This is like a political uppercut. I mean,
He shot
landed.
himself in the leg.
He shot his own leg. Okay, fine.
That is true.
Obari.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
What Baba said was that the Nigeria type of politics, the easiest thing to us is what is going on now. The deputy governor had done what it takes to fire the mistake. There's no way you can get it. Since for the House of Assembly, there's no way. There's no way now. If somebody, you know, hardly you see any true Democrat or a comment to tell you this bill of 500 million, I take it back, I'm not taking it. If he does it, he's not going to sleep well. I get it.
He won't sleep well as a politician.
Yeah, he's not going to sleep well because he might not also get it again. So he can think of taking it to fight you back. I get it. So the deputy governor had all what it takes to strike, and maybe he was smiling and saying, okay, if he comes, he's going to do it. But not also forgetting that if the deputy governor had also survived, he will also be here castigating. So it's good, whatever is playing now, let it play. It's also good for you. You saw that if not for the move now in Ondo, there will not be peace in Edo. I get it now.
Yeah.
Less than 48 hours after that impeachment proceedings, we saw our own here apologizing openly to say, please forgive me. You are my big brother. I've been missing you. Let's work together. Because he already knew that whatever he was doing was social media issue. Now when it comes to take the deal, my friends in House of Assembly in Ring Road there, 100 million would be too big for any of them now. Are you getting it now?
What are you insinuating, Obaraye?
Talking my friend, just like Christian Omasha.
Are you talking about the house now being corrupt? Is that what you say right now?
I said my friends.
Your friends, okay.
100 million will be too big for now, for any impeachment proceedings. Will be too big. Yeah, if you would tell them to say slap and journal, they would do that graciously. So for the deputy governor to quickly retrace his step to say I'm sorry, he goes to tell you, because most of them they are still paying loan, they are still paying interest on the loan they took
to run for office.
And if close people like us are the ones they know they are paying, their followers don't know or guys paying loan. Their followers will come this Sunday now for issue, and there's no way weekend now they don't spend a minimum of, let's say, 500,000. No way. They want to manage. If they go to their constituency, they will spend close to $1 million. So if they stay in Benin, they will spend 300,000 or 400,000, and that is close to their monthly salary. So if they hear it to say 100 million for impeachment process,
they would divert.
So say, no, organize the delays. Bring down, let's go. So they don't even want. That is talking about misappropriation, embezzlement. They don't even want to hear that one. You said impeach, and the man who just raised the price impeach. You not ask them why did you impeach? I don't even know why. But so the old deputy governor, instead of him to fortify his own political base, he went ahead looking for car. He was not was he trekking to the office? Was he trekking to the office? So if he didn't fortify himself, you had the opportunity to fortify yourself, and you were joking. Cabal. What is cabal? You used to hear about the Buhari cabal. Is it not somebody that is there is your cabal? There's nobody. You have cabal because Wisdom Master is here. That's the people around him now. If Wisdom Master okay no longer here, quickly put anybody there quickly and get it well. So what has happened to him is a lesson for which we should also forget. What has also happened to the Ondo deputy governor might be karma.
Karma? Yes. In what way?
You can't say. He might also have inner to say, let's take this man off. We can't say. And God will say, this man hasn't done you anything. No. This man left this position, and now acting governor has now been on your name. And that is where I want it. In his closet, and in his own planning, what will not be fruitful. And God will say, no, you cannot beat this man. This man, this cancer that was supposed to kill him, I'm going to remove it and even give him a longer life. Are you getting it now? And the man is back to fight. And so also, you have a state and a man that has a wife that likes the acrimony in Benin. Matter. Are you getting it now? You know when any governor has that type of matter, as in a man, a president or a governor in Nigeria, having that type of woman, not the silence one that will keep quiet. The one that want the world to know that I am the wife of His Excellency. Me and my Excellency. As a deputy governor, as a commissioner, you should be wary of your steps. It happened to Ambode in Lagos.
Yes.
When he could not control his home, the politician said, no. Go and treat your home first before coming to politics. So in Ondo, there is that madam that is there. So the deputy governor did not put all this into consideration before doing whatever he has done. But I think whatever we also want to discuss here, we should tell them not to play God. We should not don't play God. You because why? I'm sure that I told my friends that are now local government chairmen and councillors, and I called them, I said, if you don't leave me on time now, you are here to tell me come and work. If you don't leave your time, your 3 years will elapse and you start speaking English. I said, when it's now done on my big brother, the governor of the state, that is, he knows that it's now counting months. From January now, when I told you, from January now, office issue will be pushed aside for politics. Yes, we begin. Then the issue of Contai Road is no longer there now. He will now start to work on who succeeds him. and the work is so strenuous that before he could say Jack Robinson,
the Baba is there.
he has passed. So now it has started. Akeredolu might not even have the strength to hold the successor, to campaign rigorously. The artist issue was also put into consideration. Health-wise, he cannot dance the dance of let's move from one place to the other. Now, if he does it, he gets his because I'm sure you saw him when he came. That's not the Akeredolu that was bulky when he left. Now, so he's coming from Emi back to Abon. Are you getting?
Could you please explain for those who don't understand Benin? Yes, you have to, because it's a national TV. From death to life.
He's coming from the land
of the dead
to the land of the living. And it takes time. So he's supposed to put all this into consideration. Although election is immediately after I do, we should start thinking towards although election. So he should put all this into consideration to say, okay, my head is not even strong. Deputy governor, if you not do this thing, from now henceforth, your office is going to be like that of a special advisor. Just make sure everything, just the way that it was done in Benin here, that everything concerning revenue that was in the opinion of the deputy governor was taken away to the office of the governor. Then make sure, this is your office here, because your office is conducive. That is why you are busy dancing. Go to where there's water has been.
Calm down, calm down.
I'm not talking about home, I'm talking about Benin. I know. I'm talking to the new office of the governor. So by the time you now know that what you'll be doing every morning is to make sure this water in your own place does not even swallow you up. You are now with your own business. You now face your duty.
Thank you.
Get it? So the deputy governor, we should all put all this. Nobody should play God. Because by the time God deals like this, that is the end of Captain Marvel. We will not be speaking on this succession issue.
Thank you.
It's God that plans succession, not man.
Thank you so much, Obari. And that is your last line on this discussion we have to talk about. So what's your own last line? He talked about the health issue. You left the land of the dead through God's mercy to the land of the living. Is it time you started to fight your own deputy? Is it time for us to come together? Let's just talk, forgive all, and let's move on. Barrister.
Yes, I think the governor should know that for you to be alive is just God, nobody. You should know that there's time for everything. Time to reap, time to sow. So you should do everything humanly. But I know that I can say it again and again that I know it's going to be impeached. But let you know that no, it's 100% sure.
If you just stamped it, it will be impeached. Come on.
What happens is appropriation, whatever.
What if divinity just intervene? What then happens?
No, there's no miracle. It happened severally. No miracle. Because it's a done deal. That's yourself. I mean, that is true. It's a street. That's the truth of the matter. So let you know that when lies are so powerful, it's a very powerful choose. You don't even think about the set again. They will tell you that we come back and do the campaign and do everything. You don't need to be there. I'm telling you, you don't even think about it. It's a challenge. But let him think about the future of the state. And I haven't done 2 years, and if you can take a bow, it's a very highly respected senior lawyer. You have played this through what he doesn't want. So it should even whoever succeeds, let him. With that challenge alone, it's no problem for me.
No problem.
Not to even intervene, whoever becomes the governor.
All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Patrick Isekwenu, for your last line of discussion. Barrister Robinson Imade, what's your last line, your advice to the governor and his deputy? Because this is what is trending right now in Nigeria. Governor fighting deputy, deputy fighting governor, and all that.
Well, I think what is right should be done in those states.
Okay.
If the deputy governor has misappropriated funds, he should pay for it. It's the people's money. It's neither the governor's money nor his money. And if the governor himself, Akeredolu, has hands in this, that may amount to playing God, as the brother said. But again, he has not come out to say anything.
Barrister.
Nobody has mentioned.
Even if you're a legal practitioner, you should know what is happening.
Not even, I won't know what is happening on though. Not even the deputy governor has said, "Oh, you are the one fighting me." What I know is that the House of Assembly has instituted an impeachment
notice
against him. Let him defend himself. it is almost obvious that he may not be able to, except, like you said, God intervenes himself. And God does not really so much meddle in the affairs of men. He has given us the standing spirit. Let us do know what is right and do it. If the deputy governor didn't know what is right and did not do it because he didn't know, too bad. If he knew what was right and did what was wrong, let him go for it. But for Akeredolu, I think, like my colleagues here have said, he should be doing more of thanksgiving to God now. I hear he's still at Ibadan.
Yes.
Okay, he has not even come to the State House. So I think he should be doing more of thanksgiving and doing more of forgiving those who have trespassed against him. There is nothing to show me that the deputy governor trespassed against him. What he has done, as far as I'm concerned, is that he has transgressed the law, and the law will take its course. That's the way I look at it.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. You've heard them. They spoke at length on this particular issue, the feud between Akeredolu and his deputy. And right now, impeachment process is being served for what they all inferred. They're saying that there is no way the deputy Lucky Ayedatiwa will survive this unless by divine intervention. But should the governor meddle in this kind of affairs, knowing fully well that they're just recuperating? Yes, that what is rightly opined. The same Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN, with all due respect, that left Nigeria for Germany and of course came back. There is this huge disparity in personality. Yes, health can really do that to someone. Well, some are saying it's time for you to recuperate. Forget about fight. It may just endanger your health. The more, not just forgive, let bygone be bygone, and let the state move forward. Of course, you shouldn't relate it to what is happening in those states. One was sick, one as well. So let's not just talk about that for now. One was absent, one was present. Whatever it is, to me, there are slight similarities and, of course, great disparities, okay? We choose to focus on those states. Let's just see how all this will pan out. Will Lucky Ayedatiwa survive this impeachment process? We'll find out maybe in a week or 2 weeks' time. We'll know. We'll definitely know. We want to go for a break. When we return, it's all about the proposed strike by Labour. The big question now is, can we trust NLC and TUC to force the hands of our leaders to do the needful? Don't go away. We'll be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Well, it's a live studio. You can hear the sound of my analyst talking about one or two things that has to do with the state. But today we're not zooming into the state. We're taking a look at national issues, where the state also is part of the nation. But we're taking a look at the issues emanating from our great country. You might have heard about the threat by NLC. 2 or 3 days warning. Yes, warning strike. According to some, it was a huge success. Others are saying it was just like any other day. All right, now this time around, Labour is like say we want to go for a mother of all strike because enough is enough. Nigerians are suffering. The masses, they are suffering. The workforce, they are suffering. Mr. President is not doing anything about it. According to Labour, there's going to be a total shutdown from this week. And of course, the federal government is appealing to them to please take it easy. That whatever they are planning right now is for the betterment of the country. That in due time, Nigerians definitely will smile. But right now, Nigerians, they are not smiling. Are you smiling? Well, let my analysts throw more light on this. I have the same gentlemen to really throw more light to this, to share their thoughts and opinion. Proposed strike by Labour. I'm going to start off with Barrister Robinson. After all, he was a Labour devotee in the agric sector. Once a Labour devotee, always a Labour devotee. So I think you were one-time secretary, right? Or yes, General Secretary, yes, of a Labour unit in the agricultural sector. Well, Labour right now has issued a warning saying no going back. We are going to down tools until our cries are heard and something is done for the betterment of Nigerian workforce. People like saying, can we trust Labour? Because according to some reports, Labour haven't lived up to the expectation of Nigerians in recent times. Take it up from there.
Well, I think
It has not gotten to the issue of trust. Labour for now is following the law step by step. And I think it's being delayed because the 21 days of ultimatum that was given to the federal government as a last since Tuesday, I guess. And the NLC that we know is going on with this struggle via strike.
Are not state business. And we also have a government in Edo who we heard with the collected palliative from the federal government. I'm sure my friend Chris Nehai told me that, but says that they collect palliative, and that is how the issue of this free bus ride is coming up. It's through the palliative measure. And the free bus ride now is driving through this bad federal government road within our state, collecting money from federal government, using it to buy diesel, service the buses that was on ground, and riding on the federal government bad road. If NSA had also put this government to their toes, so let's sit down. You've collected this money, 5 billion. Why not let us put 1.5 billion on this federal government road? Even if it's not going to be 100%, but at least this period, don't give us free buses. Don't just forget about it. If the road is passable, it also will be a welcome development. So we have government that will just sit down in the morning and in the afternoon they give you what they want to give you. We don't hear state NLC saying anything. What you just hear from them is when the Abuja will just tell you, we've waited for this and it's not working. The next you just hear the states that will be quiet to say, hey, we go. You that is shouting, we go. Your own, is he okay? Are your people good? The people you want to mobilize on the street, are they okay? So we are supposed to, first of all, go to the nitty-gritty, as in the one by one, the local government. We have a new local government. I've not heard any local government NSC. I've been saying local government in NLC.
I think you should answer that.
Yes, they have up to that.
State chapter, local government chapter.
They have. Have you heard to say we be the NSC local government now? We've not had government for the past 3 years. We know they agree. We know go agree. We don't hear that. So that is why we now see that it is laughable. It's no longer, we no longer, before when you NSC shouts, when they roll, everybody run a tasketer. Now they make it laughable because tomorrow you heard Dad is saying just now that these people have not met, that one have not met, and you are also hearing my junior in ICC, Osifu, who is the TUC president. I get it now. I'm a very proud ICOBA. I said the people are not going. Because now for we see to say they not be friends again. People will ask what is happening. If you TUC, what is that the issue? I can also see the president now.
Just hold on, want to go for a break. We'll return. We'll continue with this discussion as NLC losses bite. What about TUC? Do you think Nigerians should take them serious? We'll be right back.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. We are at the concluding phase right now. So this edition of This Morning on ITV, we're taking a look at proposed strike by NLC. Its implication. Opera, you were making your point before we went on that break. Please continue with the points you were making.
Yeah, I said the Nigerian Labour Court NLC has lost its value. The reason why I'm saying that is that it just trickles down. We are not supposed to just, I don't live in Abuja, I live in Lagos. So citing my case as a Nigerian citizen, I'm supposed to ask, where is the labor in Edo? I'm supposed to ask, where is the labor in my local government already? For the thing that is happening within my immediate environment. Must it be, is life all about salary increment? You didn't know. Are we not supposed to ask salient questions? We have a government in Edo. A few days ago, I was driving from Sapero to navigate to Limit Road, and my car get stuck up there. And if not for the grace of the traffic wardens that were there, who came to be of help
Push
to
the
me,
car.
I think would have been messed up. Is limit road also a federal government road? That's not. And the federal government said it gave state 5 billion. As we speak, very just now, I'm yet to hear verbatim to say I collected. And okay, if you, what have we done with it?
Okay.
We just keep talking about wisdom Masha. Well, what about the environment? What about this? As in where you are. If me, I don't work, I'm not supposed to be expecting you are not fighting for me for salary increment. How many percentage of Nigerians are civil servants?
Good question. I'll come back to you. Barrister Robinson, you've been smiling on this one. They are saying that NLC, they've lost this fight and it's all political. What's your take on it?
Well, I think we are all entitled to our views. And it also flows from our understanding of what Labour stands for. I'll quickly allude to what my brother just said by saying that trade unions exist to protect and preside over the industrial interests of workers. Trade unions exist to protect and preside over the industrial interests of workers. The trade union is not an opposition party. We probably saw what opposition meant, what opposition is supposed to do during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. The APC tackled all of these issues we are talking about in opposition. And it would have been better, in my opinion, or my view, if APC had remained in the opposition, Nigeria would move faster. Because every step of the PDP then was checkmated by the APC. That is what perhaps we want Labour to do today. That's one. Two, my brother here also mentioned that the last 8 years, the 8 years of
Former President
Buhari,
yes,
there was
Buhari.
no strike. Each time they plan to go on strike, they will cancel it midnight. I know what that means. But again, let us look at the 8 years of President Obasanjo. There were so many strikes. And he's nodding, happy about it. But each time we went on strike in Nigeria during Obasanjo, it was about 7 or 8 times that there was nationwide strike. And each time we went on strike, most of the time it was for the attempt of the president to increase petroleum price. And every time at that time that we went on strike, petroleum prices were increased.
True.
Each time we went on strike, we don't go agree over increase in fuel prices, they were increased.
But not like this.
Excuse me, sir. What was happening then is, federal government will say, we are going to increase by 30%. We say, no, it will never happen. We are Labour. We settle for 8-9%.
Yeah.
But each time, there was an increase. When Omar became president, under Yaradua, petroleum prices came down on its own without a strike. A lot has to do with the government of the day. The truth of the matter is that the strikes, 7 or 8 strikes action we had during Obasanjo time, many Nigerians died. And yet, each time, Labour won and government smiled.
Labour won and government smiled.
Yes, because you discussed this, okay, we have been able to reduce it, it would have been worse. Who knows if it is true that the amount they touted was what they actually wanted to increase by. That's by the way. Now, I am a trained unionist. I'm a BTUC trained unionist, British Trade Union Congress. My friend who went to the USSR long before me for training, the late CEO Abu, said that they were taught there, that's not what they taught me in Britain, that if democracy fails, civilian government fails, the soldiers will take over And that when the soldiers are misbehaving, trade unions should take over administration. That's the kind of militancy we saw in the USSR at the time. But today, labor, you will say, should make comment on every aspect of our economy. The only reason they have to do that is that if the economy is bad, it affects the workers. You have increased fuel subsidy, the workers take transport to work. It will affect their pockets. The economy is bad, food prices are on the rise, it will affect the worker because they also feed and go to the same market. Essentially, checkmating the ruling class is basically the job of the opposition party.
Not labor.
Not strictly labor, unless it has to do with protecting and presiding over their industrial. Industrial means workplace interest.
But now we're being affected.
That's what I'm saying. Where is our opposition? What's the PDP doing today? Have they asked the governor? We heard that 5 billion naira was brought. What have you done with it? APC would have gone to the Tomato Olympus to shout when they were in opposition. I think that the NSC, when they want to go on strike now, must do a lot of sensitization. Because they appear, labor ought to be the voice of the common man. Because apart from the civil servants, how many of us work in the civil service? There are the private sector unions. These companies you see, they have unions. They belong to the TUC, and they also belong to the NSC. The mobilization of informal sector workers, those who sell pop-off, those who sell egg roll, they are also being organized. In Britain, they form unions. They call them the informal sector unions. Until we have grown to that extent that everybody who does anything belongs to the union. I'm not talking about these tomato sellers and the others who are not coordinated. If they are coordinated and they get affiliated, for example, to the NSC, and now they say, we want to go on strike, you know the economy will be brought down in one day. Imagine my brother supported the TUC. Yes, it's our choice. TUC is my own primary constituency. But the 2 days warning strike of the NSC, what impact did it make?
Good question.
What impact did it make?
Good question.
The markets were open, the banks were open, because the bank is the most sensitive aspect of our economy.
But is that not a message to the NLC that their order doesn't really go down too well with
Nigeria?
Nigeria?
That is why I said that my greatest worry is the disaffection between the NSC and the TUC. If they don't come together,
yes,
there's nothing that will cause strike that will be effective.
I'll come back to you. Now, you heard him. He gave us a lecture of what NLC and, of course, TUC stands for, given this stands in Russia and all that, the power of this particular union. I know you have so many things to say. While I was there talking, wanted interject, but now you have the floor. Go ahead, share your thoughts.
Yes, well, like you talk about them, PDP in opposition. So like when APC was checkmated, when PDP was in power.
Yes.
I think TSC, they are all pressure group. They are pressure group. Even the MBA, they are pressure group. But the issue is that the policy behind the Labour Congress is not becoming. That's why you see that if they go for strike today, it might not work well. But you and I know too well that even within the states, check out all the states we have Labour Congress. They are the pocket of the governor.
Pocket of the governor?
Yes, that's the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter. Yes.
Now this is huge.
Yes, I'm telling you, most of all states, the governors are the pocket of the governor. If the governor wants you to stay, he will work. If the governor wants to work, he will also work. I'm not telling you. Your state, they are being controlled. You don't want to talk about the local government of the Labour Congress. I know too well. I'm talking from experience. The control, the more of them are very loyal to the governor. It doesn't matter. So, up there, will not listen to them, Tinubu, and who will not suffer it? The grass is the common man. That's why I said we have to be cautious. We're already in pains, and don't cause more pains.
Don't cause more pains
to the masses. Because like issue, they complain about the subsidy. I said, it's a issue of subsidy is like something beyond what we call there's some matter like issue of beyond control. That's what I mean. So it's like a hair, you can't even touch it. Issue of subsidy. That's what they don't know how that subsidy works. It's a problem. Even the president is confused. And the issue of the strike is now emanating for the issue of the subsidy because of the hike in sales of petroleum products. Where now we buy fuel at the rate of 600 plus. It's a very, and which you know the grave consequence, implication in the cost of living. It's a serious one. So how many people are those where how many people are in civil service? So those of the common man in the streets going to affect them. So when he says strike, we listen to the president. It's even beyond him. It's beyond the president. It's not the subsidy. So you're not saying that, oh, president, we should go back to subsidy. I don't understand. Like, you know, I guess subsidy is a scam. So you start paying, we were talking about that, they pay about 40 billion every month, they share. Every month. So they should start coming back and start sharing money to who? All right. So then we talk about the way forward. I just been the way forward. For instance, those that took our money, paid that money for years, something they pay it to. CBN were able to give us the account flow. How that money goes from which account? How did they pay that payment? They don't go to church. TSC, Labour Congress were able to hold them to ransom. This is some of the demand they should make. We'll be paying for subsidy. Let's have the statement of account. Let those Nigerians who are behind this are suffering. Okay. It's not the president now, because legally it has been removed. It's not the fault of the president. The president cannot treat on illegality.
All right.
So then what would we do? Okay. If we want this issue of the to be solved, this is like what the NSA should be taking off. Not to just say this, oh, let's go strike. What is the alternative? The government on their own also brought up palliative to mitigate the pains. But that palliative is just about 10% or 5%. Okay. How many people will get that money?
Barry, you heard Barrister Patrick. He said, look, you talk there are all pressure groups. But Barrister Robinson said, look, it's more of an opposition thing to really checkmate the excesses of the government of the day. That is like the opposition PDP, they are not doing it. And it's not only Labour that should come out to say, look, you have to do the right thing. But Barrister Patrick differed. So what's your own take on this as a politician? The pressure group, tell the government of this to do the right thing. And of course, if strike is the only option that we have.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you take your time to listen, you know, they're also trying to say something. I get it. Just that Baba has given us, streamlined the power of NLC, has brought it down. He now used the English to garnish it.
He used English to garnish it.
That is meant for just few workers and these.
Yeah.
But when he was trying to land, he now said, if we can add the Tomatoes Union.
Yes, all those other unions to be organized.
So that is what is supposed to be their issue now, to make sure that those women if just even they leave, the women that says vegetable, know the power they have. I'm sure government will put that one is not for NSC in Abuja. That's why we have to say, where is the NSC in local government?
He alleged that they're in the pockets of the governors.
Since, yeah. They are.
But they don't need to talk for themselves, so that's taken as the base of allegation.
They don't even need to talk for themselves. We live in the street. So we should tell you what happens in the street. You don't need to come speak. I get it that we live in the street.
All right.
As we speak for the very just now, take your time, pull your suit, be casual, go to New Benin, pretend to sit with them. Then you see that even the Tomatoes Union, Baba said, he wants to join the NSC. He's even stronger than the Labour is saying.
How?
I'm telling you that if you drop your vegetable in New Benin, the one in the Kiosa will tell you the price is going to go for before you open it. If you drop your corn at a Kiosa, the one in the Obab market will tell you what it's going to go for. Their union is that you can't enter. They don't need to go on strike.
And they to sell, not to sell.
I get it now. They will tell you, Wizard of Marshall, you just came this morning. You can't sell.
You can't sell.
You can't sell. And nobody, the DPOs around are all
in the group.
Yeah, they understand it. And you see the ticket. Iyagbe ticket is there. Area boys ticket is there. Police ticket is there. This is from a woman that just on its own took that vegetable from her farm or her backyard to sell at New Benin Market. And she will tell you she has spent, even to register that vegetable as a member to sell.
To register vegetable to sell.
My brother, take your camera, just secret camera, go and stay. You can give that as a
It's true.
You will not to even start selling oranges, to even start selling corn. Are you getting it now? They've not even been able to break all this. And let me tell you, this is the main people that I believe in the workers. So, not those that wear tie like we sing. Those ones that sell apple, because those are what you can take every day. Their money is every day. So if the NLC don't do anything for us, make sure that this market structure is well structured. Tell the government to fix the road. So that when it comes, the woman that wanted to sell vegetable for 300 naira for those leaves will not be told by one year to say no, it's still 500. If you go against it, you are finished. The woman will on her own to say, but this thing is extremely enormous. It's large. I don't need this big money. I will just take this small. But yeah, I may have told you this is what she wants. And that's exactly what
I know.
So the NSC
we're going to investigate this matter.
The NSC should on our own help us to those small things.
So get organized.
Yeah, you just if they organize, leave federal government first. Pretend as if you are not seeing it. Go to a kiosk at New Market. Let those women know this one you are doing, madam. You are very sharp in it, But do you know if you put us together to eat, we can do it. We can do it together. Carry the apple people, carry tomatoes, pack all of them, unknowingly to them. Now put it. And look, if you do it for 1 year, and say now we are going on strike. Federal government, state government have no option to beg you.
Thank you so much. Organized labor. Anyway, we'll throw more light on this subsequent time because right now our time is up. Barrister Robert saying, appreciate your coming. Barrister Patrick, thank you so much. Put food on the table. Appreciate you for coming. I know, but our time is up. Okay. Not too. We're going to revisit the same topic. Well, let's see if NLC will really keep to their premise of shutting down the nation. If things are not done in accordance, that will favor the workforce. Bye for now.